What's up, everybody? Let me see. I got Marcus on here. Marcus, man, you don't play around. What's up, everybody? Welcome to my live. Wait till more people come on. What's happening? What's happening? Man, there are a lot of live streams going on tonight about this. I hope everybody show up to my live stream. I hope y'all not out there on other live streams too. Let me see and wait for more people to come inside. What's up? Let me see. We got 2 people in so far. What's up? What's happening? Wait for more people to come in. Man, oh man, we got stuff to talk about tonight. Wow, 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 wow. Let me see how many. We got 2 people. Okay, I'm just gonna wait just a little bit longer for more people to come. I know there's a lot of live streams going on tonight. I know some of y'all probably have other live streams right now. I want to talk about what's going on with Floyd. I got some news for you. Hey, what's up, Marcus? You always here. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I know there's a lot of live streams going on tonight. I want to cover what's going on with Floyd Wallace. I think you're the only person here. I bet you everybody's on these other live streams tonight. Maybe I should have waited till tomorrow to do the live stream. I'm just gonna wait a few minutes. I know there's a lot of live streams going on tonight. Oh, the bigger channels get the glory. See, we got 2 people on. Just trying to wait for more people to come on the live stream. I don't want to talk about what's going on with Floyd. Got some important information. Yeah, you're right, Marcus. You're absolutely right. Yep, absolutely. I talked about this a long time ago. I knew these days were going to come. I knew that these days were going to come. Okay, I'm showing 4 people in. I'm showing 4 people in. Okay, let's get going. Let's get going. Wow, wow, wow. I told you so. I told you so. I told you so. I was just on the Razor show 2 weeks ago. And I said that Brazil and Colombia, they are watching you. And ever since that incident that happened in Brazil a couple of years ago, I'm not going to mention what happened. You all probably know what happened 2 years ago about the other situation. They gave us a bad, bad reputation. A bad reputation. And the videos that you put out there, I said this too on Razor. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Okay, everybody's coming to the live now. Okay, cool. I said this on the Razor Race live 2 weeks ago when I was on his live. I said that you have people that are very high up that watch these videos. They watch these videos. Gustavo Petro of Colombia watches YouTube. Lula, President Lula of Brazil, he watches YouTube. The people in the Dominican Republic, they watch YouTube. And when you put bad content out there, okay, talking about how much you pay for sex and how much this girl costs and everything, did you know that they see stuff like that? They see this type of stuff. They see it. And they frown on stuff like that. But the part that I don't understand, why do people put all their business on YouTube? And that's the same thing I talked to Razor Rays about when I was on his live. Because I saw this coming years ago. Years ago, I saw this coming. Back in 2018. Back in 2018, I saw this coming. And I would contact people. I would write them in their emails and on their direct messaging. Say, if I were you, I would not put this type of content on YouTube or on Facebook or on Instagram. Because people are going to start rebelling. These countries will start to rebel, and they're going to plaster our names and stuff up there. And I've heard that Brazil, this is the news that I got. Brazil has said a lot of bad things about the passport bro movement. They're calling the passport bro movement organized crime of exploitation. That's what Brazil is saying as we speak. Let me see things that you should be exposing your sexual situation in general with people. This is important. Yeah, I'm talking about. Let me tell you what I've heard. I've heard people, Facebook groups and things like this, having live streams on how to get the best price. You know, you pay too much for this, you pay too much for that. Or you should go to the clock tower, or you can go to this area, and the girls are much more. You know, they will discuss sexual exploitation right on YouTube. Yeah, they're done. They're done. They're done. Brazil has considered the Passport Bros a criminal organization. And they've been waiting for this because you remember what happened to the other YouTuber that I'm not going to mention his name that used to be with Floyd. He's throwing Floyd under the bus, which I think is very unfair. And guys, that's something I want to tell you. A lot of you guys are going to disagree on what I'm going to say. A lot of y'all are going to disagree. Some of you are going to disagree with what I'm saying. Even though we got these allegations against Floyd, okay? Very serious allegations against Floyd. Always remember this, okay? Everybody is innocent until proven guilty. Yeah, the feds was investigating other people. Yeah, you're right. The feds are investigating for other passport bros for more and on the list. Yeah, yeah. But always remember this, guys. Everybody innocent until proven guilty. I want y'all to listen to this. I got this from DC Born Rob. He does an excellent job. I'm glad he got his channel back.
In Rio de Janeiro, his detention was at a downtown hotel. He described himself on social media profiles as a sex tourist. The text then includes a series of excerpts from a video.
As soon as they
entered the room. The American, identified as Floyd Wallace Jr., 29, was arrested in the Liberty neighborhood in
I knew
downtown
this was
Sao
coming too,
Paulo.
James. I knew that. I've been talking about this back in
Rose
2018,
up to the
dude.
ground and was handcuffed.
I've been talking about this in
Operation
2018.
was carried
I
out by
said,
teams from the Homicide and Personal
I said,
Protection
one
Department
day
in support
these
of
countries
civil
are
police
going to
officers from the state
rebel
of Rio de Janeiro.
against the
Thanks.
information that
According
we're
to
putting out
information
there.
from the Child and Adolescent Police Station, the American is accused of raping and sexually exploiting several children. In conducting their inspection of the hotel room where he was lodged, the police found a significant quantity of electronic equipment, including files containing child pornography. They also seized a variety of items such as pen drives, memory cards, a notebook of a computer, multiple cell phones, some stuffed animals, a watch with an embedded camera, and various other telephone devices.
They are cleaning house, and they're doing the same thing. You're right, James.
An intelligence operation following a report from a rival.
And they're doing the same thing in Thailand too. They're doing the same thing. I told you guys, you have when you go into a foreign country, you should always be on your best behavior. You are a guest in that country. And they are watching you. I told you what happened in Colombia about a year ago when I was there in Medellin. Let me tell you what happened. I told y'all this story before. I was sitting in my room, okay, because I noticed that when I'm in the cafeteria, when I'm at the restaurant they got down there in the resort, I'm sitting there. You could tell people are watching you. I mean, I'm seeing the cooks looking over the counters, looking at me. People walking by, looking at me. Girls over there in the counter, looking at me. I just wave at them. I'm like, hello. I know they're watching me. And every time I will have a guest that come visit me, they sitting there just looking, just looking and watching me. So let me tell you what happened. I was sitting in my room. I told y'all this story before. I was sitting in my room, okay, and I heard it was a door knock. And it's very unusual because if I have a visitors coming, the front desk usually calls the phone in the room saying, you have a guest that's down here in the lobby, wants to meet you or something like that, you know. So I was like, well, who is this knocking on my door? And so I answered the door, and it was the manager of the hotel. And she walks in with this huge meat tray. It had crackers and cheese and everything. I was like, wow, what is this? And she spoke very good English too. She spoke very good English. And she said, you know what? I like the way how you treat my employees. Everybody here has been talking about you. I said, really? Yeah. They said that you are a really nice man. I said, oh, thank you very much. And she said, we just want to offer this tray to you, to show our appreciation on how you treat everybody because you have the cleaning ladies, you have different people that come into the room and change the sheets and stuff in the room. And I give them a tip, you know what I'm saying? I say, thank you very much for cleaning the room. Thank you very much for changing the sheets and everything, keeping the room clean. They bring new towels and things in there. And I show my appreciation. But I know that those people are watching me. I know they are. Let me see, James. Columbia is definitely going to clean the house after this. Oh yeah. This here is going to go viral everywhere. This is going to go viral, and this is going to make it very difficult and even harder for us to come down there to visit. I just talked about this.
Sharing driver. The driver stated that a user who had used a false name requested a ride with two minors whiners. During the ride, the man spoke with the children who said they were going to meet an older man who didn't speak Portuguese. The girls couldn't explain how they.
This is serious, serious, serious accusations. These are serious accusation allegations. Child sex trafficking is one of the worst of the worst of the worst type of crimes that you can commit, especially in a foreign country. I remember the manager told me at the resort hotel that I stayed, he said he saw police come in because he said he's the manager of other hotels in Poblado. He said there's other hotels and resorts and stuff. And he said he actually have saw foreigners being arrested and taken away by Colombian police. And if you are caught with a minor in Colombia, this is what the manager told me down there. He said, you will get 25 years in prison. And they will not extradite you to the United States. They will not do it. They will try your case down there and they will arrest you down there. They will arrest you. They won't extradite you. And believe me, you do not want to be in a Colombian jail. That jail, I told you guys about that jail in Bogota. That prison in Bogota is one of the worst of the worst of the worst of the worst places that you ever want to find yourself. And that's why it's very important that you do to get consultations from people who are experienced in these places. They will tell you what to do and what not to do. Floyd is in serious, serious, serious trouble, and he's in a foreign country in a foreign jail. That's the worst of the worst thing that can happen to you is ending up in a foreign jail. And that jail in Bogota, I told you guys about, that prison is so bad. It's so bad that criminals actually try to commit suicide before going to that prison. So there's no telling where they got Floyd at right now. He's in a very bad situation. And sex trafficking, you need I don't know what type of representation, legal representation he's going to get, but he's going to need a good lawyer, a good lawyer. I'm talking like the kind that Diddy used on his cases. I don't know if Rio de Janeiro, I don't know their judicial system. I do not know if they will provide a lawyer for him. But lawyers are very expensive. Yeah, absolutely, James. American prison is like the Holiday Inn, you know. But what worries me about Floyd is that these allegations against him is that when those inmates find out what you have done, it will be very bad for him. But everybody, I want to tell you this. I want to tell you this. This is important. This is very, very important. Even though we got all these allegations against Floyd, okay? Even though we got all these allegations against Floyd, everybody is innocent until proven guilty. Always remember that. Because I know a certain individual that got arrested for the same thing a few years ago. Y'all probably know who he is. I'm not going to mention his name because on this channel, I don't like bringing up people's name because I don't troll anybody. But you know, he's a well-known big YouTuber that was arrested in Colombia for child sex trafficking. But But they found out that the allegations was not true. He got a lawyer. Yeah, I probably know who I'm talking about, but I can't mention his name. Yeah. It's a good thing that they're showing us a clean house in America before going to a foreign. But the part that I understand about Floyd, he has a criminal record. He has a criminal record. Assaulting a police officer, disorderly conduct. So I don't understand how was he able to get through customs. I don't understand. That's one part I don't understand. How was he able to get through customs?
Knew him. That's when the civil police were contacted. On December 18th, the police identified a user who had requested another ride with 4 underage girls. During monitoring, agents identified that the American had traveled to Sao Paulo the previous Saturday and was planning to flee the country. This is where the teams established a perimeter to prevent his escape. A temporary arrest warrant was served for the crimes of rape of a vulnerable person and facilitating the sexual exploitation of children. His passport was also seized. The investigation also revealed that the criminal had self-identified as a sex tourist on social media profiles. According to the civil police, Floyd is a U.S. citizen and has a channel on a video platform where he posts videos of himself resisting police approaches and being arrested in various states of his native country, Paraguay. The foreigner has a criminal record in more than 3 U.S. states for crimes such as resisting arrest, disorderly conduct,
Disorderly
and
conduct.
assaulting a police officer. The combined sentences could reach 34 years in prison.
He can get 34 years in prison. Is found convicted. The investigation indicates that the foreigner alleged operated in Rio de Janeiro using a hailing app. That's what he used. And Brazil is saying that he used social media to lure children and teenagers into sexual acts. In the U.S., he has a long criminal record and is a YouTuber who they say that he claims to be a freedom of expression. Wow, man, this is crazy, man. These are serious, serious accusations. This is a nightmare accusation. This is a nightmare accusation. They said that his involvement in sex tourism, enticement, and the exploitation of children and teenagers. They said they arrested him like on Monday the 22nd in the neighborhood, the center of Sao Paulo. That's where he was arrested. He's been investigated by Brazilian authorities following evidence suggests they are saying that this guy coordinate the transportation. This is what they're saying. That he coordinated the transportation of minors to meet with other foreigners. Wow. Oh my God. He needs a lawyer, man. He needs a good lawyer. And let me tell you something, the embassy is not gonna do anything about it. Not much. They no help at all. So if he's expecting the U.S. Embassy to help him, he's in big trouble. I'm going to tell you what's going to have to happen. I think Floyd is mentally challenged in a certain way. What's going to have to happen? I'm going to tell y'all what's going to have to happen. His family is going to have to go down to Brazil. They're going to have to go down. Whether he contacts them or not, I'm sure he has relatives, uncles, aunts, sisters, brothers, whoever they are. They're gonna have to make a trip to Brazil to help him, and maybe they could plead. Because what I'm thinking too, this could have happened. That's what I'm saying. Everybody's innocent until I'm still giving Floyd a little benefit of the doubt. Yep, you're right. Yep, you're right. Absolutely. Yeah, he be living. If he lives, if they give him 30 years in a Brazilian prison, and you get arrested as a sex offender, you won't live to see 64 in that type of prison. That prison is a nightmare. You got gangs and stuff in those. Don't forget, you are in Brazil in one of their prisons. They say he's been identified as Floyd L. Wallace Jr., 30-year-old U.S. citizen reported that has a criminal record. Like I told you, he has a criminal record, resisting arrest, disorderly conduct, and assault of a police officer. I am really shocked that he was able to get into Brazil. Really, I was really shocked that that they didn't stop him. Before I wish they would have stopped him from entering Brazil. Maybe they could have saved him from these really serious allegations that they have against him. So what happened was the app drivers actually reported him. They noticed something wasn't right. That's what happened. Transporting minors and stuff to go visit other people. That's what kind of spooked the whole thing. So according to the story that Brazil is saying, they say another man requested transportation for children and teenagers in a ride-hailing vehicle without showing up at the pickup location. Wow. Mm-mm-mm. So this like he was working for some type of ring, like some type of sex ring. They said from a distance. This is what they said. He coordinated the trips, providing validation codes instructions to the drivers and indicating destinations. Wow. And they said also that the minors were being taken to meet foreign men. Foreign men. These are serious accusations, guys. This is serious allegations. But they also said that the children and the teenagers, they showed up not understanding exactly what they were there for and who they were supposed to meet. And when they said that this trip, these type of things were repetitive, and it was concentrated in certain areas in Sao Paulo. So they was watching him. Yeah, you're right, James. All criminals say they want a lawyer, and they also said that many trips were requested from third parties. especially women and girls, you know. So he was also, they said that he was also recruiting people. Man, he was deep in this stuff, but this is true. This is what Rio de Janeiro investigation is saying about Floyd. Okay? They said that he identified himself as a sex tourist and passport bro. He identified himself as a passport bro. Yeah, he's messed up big time. He gonna need good representation. I don't know if you, but I'm tell you what could happen is, let me finish saying this. This is what's gonna have to happen. I could see that Floyd was a little slow. I saw when I see his previous, past videos, and when he was on Hollister's videos, I knew something I saw something wasn't quite right with him. I'm not talking about him, but he seemed to be a little mentally challenged. He seemed to be just a little bit mentally challenged. So what could happen is what they're gonna have to. This is what they're gonna have to do. His relatives, whoever he got in the States, is gonna have to come to Brazil, and maybe they could go to the magistrate and please say that he probably was coerced. He's mentally challenged. You know, he probably got. I mean, I'm just saying what they probably could do for his defense. And maybe they could plead for mercy. But I don't think they're going to let him go because these are very, very serious charges. Now, this is what Brazil is saying. There's some other things that they're saying. They say he claimed to travel to poor countries for the sole purpose of having S rejecting emotional ties. Wow, my goodness. And I wish I had StreamYard. I wish I could show you. They got all of the stuff that they confiscated. They got computers. Oh wow. Oh my God. Oh, this doesn't look good. This doesn't look good because they got multiple phones. It's like you got one, two, three. They confiscated like one, two, three, four, five, six. Why would somebody need six phones and a computer and a laptop? Oh my goodness. Oh. This is serious. This is very serious with you guys. And guess what else the investigation is saying? They said these wasn't isolated incidents. They said this is a pattern of repeated conduct. This is what the investigators in Brazil is saying. Repeated. They said involving organized logistics and stuff like that. They say he tried to conceal his identity. But this guy, I mean, I don't understand how this guy really got into Brazil. I don't understand how the custom let this guy through. Because this is what Brazil is saying. They said they contacted the United States authorities, okay? And they said he has a criminal record over 13 states, including resisting arrest, disorderly conduct, assault of a police officer. Brazil said they classify him as highly dangerous. And they said they recommend caution and approach. Man, they turned this guy into a villain, boy. But this is another thing on this. Let me see. Let me read some of these. Yeah, they said that he identified himself as a sex tourist. Yeah, that's a hit on the passport, bro. But you know what? But you know what? It's really not fair for the passport, bro, especially BMT Travel. It seems like he does a very good job of representing the good side of the passport, bro. But you got these idiots that go out there and act a fool, and they call themselves the passport bro. So but it's sad when one person do something bad, everybody is bad. They put that on everybody. You're guilty, you're guilty, you're guilty, you're guilty. And even before this happened, in Colombia, they told me there, I said, what do you think about the passport bros? I asked them that question while I was there. And you know what they said to me? They said one after another. I'm not saying everybody thinks this way about them, but majority of the people that I have talked to there, they said that the passport bro is trash tourism. I said, oh, wow, okay. Also, they saying that Floyd was unemployed. Even though he traveled internationally, they said that he was unemployed, and they said that he had help with this sex ring that supposedly he was involved with. He said people were paying, and I guarantee you, the feds and the Brazilian authorities, they're gonna find out. There's gonna be more indictment. Let me tell you something. Let me tell y'all something. And y'all don't have to believe me if y'all don't want to. There's gonna be more indictments that's gonna come down. There's gonna be more indictments that's gonna come down. They ain't done yet. Yep, they always focus on the negative. You're absolutely right, Marcus. That brother get around. He gets around. I mean, for somebody that don't have no money, that don't have a job, I'm sure he's not making that much on YouTube. He got around a lot. So he probably like I said, is innocent until proven guilty. So what they're doing now is they are investigating to identify any victims or whether they were a victim of this crime. So they're gonna be looking up other people, and they're trying to find out if he did this. Oh wow! So you know what they're getting ready to do? Do you know what they're getting ready to do? They're getting ready. Oh my God! This is what the Brazilian authorities said. What else they get ready to do? They said they are getting ready to investigate with other countries. They're going to network with other countries to see has he committed the same crime in other places that he went. So you may have other allegations coming from other countries that he's. Oh wow! Oh my God, this is bad. This is bad. He's gonna need a real good lawyer. He's gonna really need a good lawyer, man. They're looking for, is there any other identified victims that has been that he has committed these crimes outside of Brazil? So I guarantee you Brazil's gonna be contacting Colombia, all those places that he went, they're gonna investigate and contact them. So he messed it up for the passport bros. So whether you go visit Peru, Brazil, Colombia, the DR, they're gonna be looking at you. This is bad. This is real bad. Let's see. He said now that he has a criminal record, it's going to be hard for him to get it. I mean, even, what's so bad about this situation, even if he is found not guilty in Brazil, his face is plastered everywhere. His face is plastered everywhere. But I don't think they're gonna let him go. I think they're gonna make those charges stick. He's in very serious trouble. But really, what worries me about him is he with the regular prison population? He won't last there. If they find out that you are a sex trafficking criminal for children, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. They will have to keep him isolated from the rest of the prison population. Yeah, the feds is investigating more passport, but they are. But like I said, nobody listens to me. I seen this coming years ago. I'm not talking about 2 years. I'm talking about at least 7 years ago. I saw this coming. And guess what? You still have individuals that still making bad content. You still have people that still making garbage content. I'm not going to mention his name. But it just seemed like every thumbnail they keep. Believe me, I'm not trying to troll anybody, but when you put thumbnails of girls with their butt cheeks hanging on your thumbnail, and you are in Sasua or you are in Colombia, that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. This video probably will be demonetized. I hope not. Disrespectful content. I've been saying that for years. There's nothing wrong with having girls on your content. If you look at my content, look at my YouTube shorts, okay, with Barbie, with Cookie. Now I did get flack. Now let me tell you something. I did get flack of that live stream that we did while we were sitting on the bed. I got some flack about that. But my intentions was not sexual at all. At all. My intentions was I wanted to introduce her to my YouTube family. That's what I wanted to do. I told her I had a channel and I wanted to interview her and I got her permission. Would I do things differently? Yes, I would have. Because what happened was in that situation, we went shopping, we did a lot of things together. Like I my YouTube shorts. We was going grocery shopping. And what happened was what I wanted to do the interview outside. I wanted a real beautiful background where we could do the live stream from. That resort is very beautiful. But what happened was we went shopping, we went back to the resort, went back to the room, we sat down, we was watching Colombian comedy. It was funny too, it was hilarious. We were sitting there watching on television. They had this I forgot the name of the show, but it was, even though everything was in Spanish, but I understood some of it. It was funny. So what happened was I'm looking outside and it got dark. It got dark. I was like, oh man, we can't do the live now. I said, do you still want to do it? She said, sure. So I sat next to her on the bed where she was sitting, had the phone, and we did the live. That's how that situation happened. And I got a lot of flack about that. I said, from now on, I will not put these type of videos on YouTube. I will not do it. Yeah, because when I did that video with her, it did not meant to be sexual, any sexual content with that. Absolutely not. I wasn't trophying her around. Saying, "Ooh, look at her body. Ooh, look at her. Look at this. Look at her." No, no. We were just two people on vacation having a good time. That's what it was. That's all it was. We were just having a good time. And it got late. I couldn't do the live stream outside. So I said, well, we could do it inside. So I got off the couch, went up to her while she was sitting on the bed, had the camera like this, had the phone like this, and we did the live stream just like that. But people just blew that way out of proportion. But I could understand. I will never do nothing like that again. Never. But I have never ever used anybody since I've been going down to South America to exploit these women or do anything that's disrespectful to them. Yeah, they try to flip the script, right? That's what I'm saying. They try. If you look at any of you, if you guys will look at any of my videos, if y'all will look at any of my videos, I did not do anything to none of those females. Like the one I did with Barbie, we're sitting there having dinner. Most of my videos, we're sitting down having dinner, having a good time. And then y'all saw the two girls came over for the birthday party. Now, let me tell you something. They did go and change and put on bikinis and got into the swimming pool and stuff. I didn't record none of that. I didn't record none of that. They got into the hot tub. They did all that stuff. I didn't record none of that stuff. I say it's unnecessary to record stuff like that. I'm not going to use anybody to get views. I'm not going to use anybody to have a Patreon, you know, that you only can see certain things about these girls in the Patreon. No, I don't do that. I do not do that. No, I do not. Yeah, do I want to make Colombia? I would love, yes, I do. I would love Colombia. That's going to be, but what's really got me nervous about Colombia right now is Venezuela. Yeah, the Colombians watch my videos. They sure do. See, I'm telling you, these people, they watch you. They watch you. They watch me every time I come. I can tell. I be sitting down there eating my dinner, eating my lunch. Just sitting there. There's somebody like peeping around the corner, just peeping, doing a little peeping. I say, I see you peeping at me. Then they just wave like this. Then they may walk up to me and say, everything good? Está bien, está bien, está bien. I say, sí, senora, está bien. Everything's good. Then they walk away. You said you drunk. No, I'm not drunk. No, 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 I'm not drunk at all. No, 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 sir, I'm not drunk. Hey, if this is your first time on this channel, make sure y'all like and subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button, man. Like button. Oh, one more thing I want to say. Eric, if you out there, brother, thank you so much for the Cash App. Thank you. Eric is, man, this guy's wonderful. Eric, man, he's wonderful. And Dave, he just joined the membership. Hey, guys, don't forget to join the membership. I'm doing a video on wealth, okay? Creating wealth, okay, for my members. So make sure you join the membership. I'm going to be sending the videos out next week. No, I'm sorry. The first week of January, okay? 2026. No, I'm not drunk. No, no, I'm not drinking anything. Well, I am drinking. I'm drinking a little juice here. No, I'm not drunk. I'm not drunk. No, no, I'm not drunk, y'all. I'm okay. Yeah, the Colombians, they do watch my videos. They do. They do. They do it. Yeah, but Floyd, he's in really serious trouble right now. Very serious allegations. So what's going to have to happen? His family going to have to come and plead for him. That's the only way I can see him getting out of this. Because I don't know how much money he have for a lawyer. I don't know what. I don't know if they provide him with one of their lawyers. I don't know how they're going to do it. But he's going to be in jail for a while, and that's a possibility. There is a possibility he can be there for months until the trial even starts. Because what they're probably going to do is they're probably going to take him and they're going to take him before the judge and they're going to read off what he's been charged for, guilty or not guilty. He probably ain't going to be able to get out on bail. They're not going to let him out on bail. If they do have that down there, I don't even know what the judicial system is down in Rio de Janeiro. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. But more than likely, he's going to go before the judge and they're going to read out the charges. I don't know if they're going to provide a lawyer for him or not. They're going to say guilty or not guilty. And there's a possibility that trial can happen next year. It can happen in the summertime. But he's done. He's finished. I hate to say that. I hate to say it. It is so sad to see a young man, But I really believe, but down, in my heart, I really believe that he's mentally challenged. And there is a possibility that he could have been coerced of doing this. Right, okay, bail does not exist. Okay, wow, wow, wow. So I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. But the only hope that he probably could have if his family comes and plead for him. Because I do believe he is mentally challenged. I think because, I know some of his other videos, he, something just didn't, something just like, it's like the lights didn't completely turn on in his head. And I don't mean that as giving him insult, but I knew that there was some type of, I knew he was kind of challenged in a certain way. And I used to question too, I said, why would he be traveling around in different countries, like that, Traveling to other, you gotta know what you're doing traveling to foreign countries. You can't be sick, you can't be weak, you can't be having, like, it's best to stay home where people can monitor you and make sure that you're okay. You know? Yep, I think what they're going to do, I think what they're going to do, they're going to start handing down other allegations against other people. And there's one guy they may look up, Y'all know who he is, so I'm not going to mention his name. Yeah, you're right. You have to be strong to travel. Absolutely. You got to be strong. You got to be strong. And you have to watch for those females too. You have to be careful, man. That's why every guest I have to come visit me, the number one thing they have to have is ID. You got to have ID. If you don't have no ID, then you can't visit me. And where I stay at, they take the ID, they scan the ID, and they make them sign waivers and papers. You see, I think Floyd was an orphan, from my understanding, so he doesn't really right. He doesn't have family that cares about him. He was living out of a car in the past. Yeah, Floyd has some issues, and I think, and like I said, I don't think Floyd, in his defense, in a way, I'm not excusing anything if this is true, but in Floyd's defense, he didn't do this by himself. He didn't do this by himself. There's a possibility. I really believe that he was coerced of doing this. Some bad people that he ran into. Or it's possible he could have been doing this here. I don't know. But it really looked very suspicious, that I didn't understand, that I saw when they put out the image, the picture of all the electronic components that he had. He had an awful lot of telephones. A lot of telephones. But what they're going to do, this is what they're going to do, everybody. What they're going to do is that they're going to investigate, other countries is going to investigate him. Colombia is going to do the same thing. Peru's going, all the places, even the Dominican Republic. So there's a possibility he could be extradited to other countries. There may be women, they're going to come out and say, yeah, he did this and did that. I bet what they're going to do is, what Brazil's going to do, they're going to work with the feds on this. They're going to work with the feds. And they're going to investigate all those. They're going to go back and they're going to follow his tracks of where he's been to see if there's any others that's been a victim of sex trafficking. This is serious. This is the worst nightmare that anybody could go through. This is the worst nightmare. And always be careful. Always be careful when you go on the phone, especially the females. And there's another person too. He better watch his back. The way he talked to women, the way how he treat women. I'm not gonna mention his name. He better be careful, because he could be next. You say if he did it, we'll eventually tell it. Yep. Yeah, I don't know why he would want to audit the police. Why would he want to do stuff like that? And you know what else he was doing in Colombia, in Medellin? I saw him doing. I thought that was just really, really taking a chance. He would stop female cops off the street and he would take pictures with them. Oh my God. I said, Floyd, what are you doing? He would take pictures with female cops. in Colombia when he was there. He was taking pictures. He said, "Well, can I take a picture with you?" And he got his phone taking selfies with police officers. I said, "Have you lost your mind?" Yeah, he seemed like he was really drawn to Colombian police women. I ain't gonna lie, some of them are pretty hot though. Some of them are pretty, some of them are pretty hot though. I ain't gonna lie, but I'm not gonna take no picture with them. I'm not gonna be flirting with them. I'm not gonna be. Oh man, I ain't gonna be flirting with no cop. I ain't gonna be flirting with no police officer. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Flirting with a police officer? Are you crazy? You know what they can do to you? They can arrest you right on the spot. Yeah, they are. They. Some of them are just. Some of them, they are hot. Some of them, I ain't gonna lie. I see plenty of. I was like, wow. I was like, wow. Yeah, they do. Yeah, yeah. But I will never be taking selfies with no police officer. I would never take no picture with no female police officer. You're asking for it to do something like that. You know what else they say about? You know what else? Man, Brazil is really saying a whole lot of bad stuff about Floyd, boy. This is another thing that they said. According to the investigators in Brazil, they say that he used multiple aliases and multiple email addresses and digital profiles. So they said, so what they were saying, what he was doing was, wherever he was doing, he would cover his tracks. Like he would create, he would. Hold on for a minute. I'm gonna go get something to drink. I'll be right back. Okay. Thank you all. Thank you all. Oh man, voice getting a little dry. But they're saying that he had multiple aliases, different email addresses, different phone numbers, different digital profiles to cover his tracks. And you know what was really crazy? They said, you know what they call it? You know what Floyd would call himself? You know what Floyd would call himself? Defender of the freedom of expression. What is that? What does that mean? Defender of the freedom of expression. And they even said that he was aware of the legal risk that he was doing. Let me see. Yeah, Brazil is the hardest country. He was doing pumping. Right, right. You're absolutely right, Wacky World. You said you're not saying that the reason why that you go to visit other countries is dealing with females. That's right. There's more things. Um, everybody, everybody wonder what I'm drinking. You know, I like Vernus. I like ginger ale. It helps my stomach, keeps my stomach settled. Sometimes I have like really bad indigestion sometimes. Yeah, there's more other things to do in the foreign country than just the women. I enjoy Colombia. I enjoy the weather. I enjoy the food. They make very good food for me. I love the food. They got my favorite dish they make. It's called a hamburger chicken crispy sandwich. Man, that stuff is good. They um they make it really good, man. And every time I come there to it, they say, let me guess, I know what you want. You want the you want the crispy chicken hamburger gosa, right? With the papas fritas and with the ginger ale. They know exactly what I want. Here it is, I haven't been there in years. When I go back, they still don't know exactly what my favorite dish is, favorite meal is. Yeah, it's like a chicken. It's like a chicken sandwich, but it's a crispy chicken. It's good too, man. They put the cheese, they put the lettuce, they put the mayo on. I mean, they hook it up. They hook it up and they cut it in half. Yeah, and then my fries. When they make my fries, it's always hot and fresh. And they give me a nice cold Vertus, like a ginger ale. It'd be cold too. It'd be good. That's the first thing I do every time I come there. When I put my stuff away in my room, I'll go right downstairs and they said, "Let me guess what you want." I know exactly what you want. I said, "What?" They said, you want the chicken crispy sandwich with the papas fritas and with the Francesca, right?" I said, "See, yes." Yeah, they treat me like they. I don't ever want to mess that up. I got going down there. I don't want to ever mess that up. I got people that really like me down there. I don't want to mess. That's why people be asking me if they want to come with me. I say no because I move different. I move in a different way. I don't want you going down there messing my game up at all. No, yeah, nobody ain't messing that up for me. No, 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 no. That's why I go by myself because when it could take one person to do something bad and make you look bad, and that's how this situation is going. The allegations against Floyd is going to make everybody look bad. Every time we go down there, they'll be looking at us strange, like, "Oh, is this one of them? Are you guys coming down here to, commit crimes and stuff?" Because, let me tell you something. Before all of this, I told you my last trip to Colombia, they stopped me 2 times. Twice. They searched my bag 2 times when I was coming in and when I was coming out. And that's never happened before. Never. They never searched my bag. Yep, they searched my bag. And they were looking for something. As a matter of fact, when I got there, when I got there off the plane, looking for my bag, they said, "Oh, your bag is back here. You need to come back into the room and get your bag." I said, "What's my bag doing way back there?" So security escorted me to this room where they had, and it was kind of scary too. I was like, "Uh-oh, did they find something in the bag that they didn't like?" And you could tell, and then when I got my bag back, you could tell they was going through my bag, looking through it. They was looking for something. I believe, I really believe this. If I would have had condoms, lingerie, sex toys, and stuff in that bag, they would have denied me entry. They would have. Yeah, they be looking for, yeah, yeah, they be looking for drugs. Yeah, they scammed me too. They did me the same way, easy. They did me the same way. I went through. Now, let me tell you this. Here it is. Everybody goes through this metal detector. I'm telling you, there's dozens of people just going through it, just going through it, going through it. I'm standing there in line, and people just going through that metal detector. Nothing, nothing. Soon as I step in that machine, it alarms. It goes off. So they tell me to come here. They pull me over to the side. And they search me from head to toe. Okay? I mean, doing this going down my leg, my socks, everything. Take off my shoes, all that stuff. Went through my bag, everything. They were looking for something. Yeah, thank God it was the result was different. No, I wasn't worried, but I know that things are changing. The reason why I'm telling y'all this because I know that things are changing. Things are changing. Okay, and this here was happening with Floyd is going to change the way that we travel. And I'm not fear mongering. People say, "Yo, you feel? Why you always fear monger all the time?" I'm not fear mongering. We are living in different days now. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it looked like the Brazilian authorities was waiting for something like this to happen. Because they couldn't get the last person who they really wanted really bad. And you guys know who I'm talking about. Not gonna mention his name. This is another thing that Brazil is saying in their investigation. They think that his trips were financed through third parties, through donations, sponsorships that was obtained on digital platforms in exchange for producing sexually explicit content. That's what the investigation is saying. Oh my goodness. Oh. If any of this stuff is true, like I say, innocent until proven guilty. Innocent until proven guilty. If any of this stuff is true, he's finished. He's done. If they see any stuff on his phones, because I'm sure they're going through his phones, they're going through his drives. If any of this stuff is true, it don't have to be that much. It could be on one phone that he has this type of, if he has that type of material on his phone, on his hard drives, on his computers. But what's going to have to happen, I said this before, is that his family is going to have to come and try to plead with the investigators and the authorities that my nephew or my cousin or whoever he is to whoever he has in the States saying that he's mentally challenged. And if he was seeing a psychiatrist or a doctor that could help in it could, I'm not for sure, but but it's worth a try. Because one thing I really do believe, I think Floyd was mentally challenged. Because I remember one video he showed one video he showed that he was with a female in Colombia. He was in Colombia. He met a female, but I think she was a working girl. He showed that video and he wouldn't pay her. I was afraid for him then, and he taped it. And one thing you don't do down there, you do not con those women out of their money. Mm-mm. Very, very, very dangerous. I mean, she was angry too. He have gotten himself in trouble down there several times. So they're saying that these trips were financed by third parties through donation. So what they're going to do is they're going to check his computer and they're going to trace those transactions. And they can do it too. They'll work with the feds on this. They're going to work on it. They're going to work with and the feds. They have stuff that me and you don't even know about. They're going to check his records. They're going to check his computers. And if anybody else that was involved in that, they're going to arrest them. They're going to put out warrants. This is serious trouble here. This is bad. This is real bad for Floyd. I don't know how he's going to get out of this one. Let's see where we're going. Yeah, but can't discipline the flesh. Absolutely right, Chris. It comes down for. I don't love money that much. I don't love money that much, like that. I do not love money that much. Mm-mm. Right. You say even since his first video, he was mentally challenged. Yeah, he was mentally challenged. Because even when he was following, it's like with him and Austin Hollister when he was doing videos with him, it's just the way how he just followed along with him. It just, It just looked like he was just like, I said, something's wrong with that guy. Something's not right. And he would just complain when he gets stood up by women. He would just complain. I said, well, if you're complaining, why don't you just leave? He said his best friend nicknamed Jack. Yep. See, that's what they were saying. He used different aliases. He used to manage his Cash App and PayPal. He became really good friends with him because he bailed him out of jail once several years ago. Yeah, they're going to find out. They're going to find out. They're going to find out. And if they have anything to do with it, they're going to be extradited to Brazil. They're going to find out. He said he moderated his live streams. Okay. He said, I think that might be the reason why he was pissed in the DR on those videos you spoke on him. Yeah. Yep. I saw this coming. I saw it coming. I saw this coming. But like nobody listens to me. Nobody don't. Nobody listens to the OG. I saw it coming. I saw trouble coming. And there's another individual too. He's just right behind Floyd. So Floyd went from being a sweet gentleman looking for a wife when he came on the scene in Thailand to become bitter and more trouble to become evil. I don't know what happened. I didn't follow Floyd that much, but I followed him when him and Austin was, traveling around together. I did follow him then, but I really believe that he's mentally challenged. You know, and some people, when they're mentally challenged, when they get off their meds, they do things. When they get off their meds, they do crazy things that they don't mean to do it. Because when I looked at the picture, when I looked at his mugshot and some of the other photos, he looked like he could have been off his med. He could be schizophrenic, you know. But the best defense that he would have, especially with these type of charges, is his family coming down to Brazil and plea to law enforcement that he's on medicine. If he could have backing from if he was seeing a psychiatrist, a doctor that he was seeing in the States, there's a possibility they might not, you know, come down on him so bad. That's a possibility. I'm not for sure. There's a possibility he could have came off as if he was ever on medication. Because I'm telling you something, mental illness is something. It's something. I know people right now who are um, mentally disabled. They have mental issues, and they have to take their meds. I know a girl right now. She have to take her meds every day. If she comes off her meds, oh my God. She would go insane. You know, one time I think the doctors didn't fulfill her medications, and she went days without her meds, and I just saw instantly that she was beginning to change. Her affect beginning to change, her hygiene beginning to change, her hair, she wasn't taking care of herself, you know. So they could work it in his. I mean, if he does have that in the States. But I'm not for sure if he does have that in the States or not. If he was seeing a psychiatrist. A psychiatrist is a medical doctor that specializes in psychiatry. They prescribe medication. So I don't know if Floyd was off. Was he ever on medication? Was he ever on antidepressant? Did he ever take anti schizophrenic medication? I don't know his medical history, but one thing I can I could tell that something was off with him. I knew something just wasn't quite right. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, there's a possibility that someone could have coerced him to do this type of stuff. Only thing we do is just can wait and see. That's all we can do. Wait and see. Yeah, this is the first time I did two lives back to back. I did one yesterday. I did one today. Yeah, he lost his freedom. He sure did. The only way I see out of this, if they convince them that he's mentally challenged, his relatives from the States, somebody from the States is gonna have to come to Brazil. And I don't know what he's going to do for legal representation because getting a lawyer is very, especially for something like this, is expensive because they don't want a retainer to even start the case, especially when you're doing international law. Because he's not dealing with whichever lawyer that he's dealing with, they're not dealing with, the judicial system in the States. They're dealing with a judicial system in a foreign country. So you don't know what to expect, what's going to come out of that. But I just hope they got him somewhere safe. I do. I don't want nothing bad to happen to Floyd. I don't. But if he's guilty, wow, that's a different story. Always remember, guys, innocent until proven guilty. And before I go again, I want you guys to join my membership. I'm doing wealth building videos. So far, I got 3 people that joined. And trust me, you will not be disappointed. No, they don't want to hear that. No, they don't want to hear that. I don't know what they're gonna. I don't know. This is bad. This is very, very bad. This is very bad. And it's gonna be bad on us too that travel because I'm telling you you know they're gonna be really, really putting the hammer down on us. No, they don't want to hear that. That's the best defense I can have for them. Anybody have any more questions before I end this live stream? Anybody? Any questions? Thank you guys for coming to the live stream today. I really appreciate y'all for coming. I didn't think nobody's going to show. I mean, everybody out there doing live streams tonight about this thing with Floyd. Anybody have any questions? Anything about Colombia? Anything about anything? Anything about what we just talked about? Again, I want to thank Eric. If you're out there, thank you so much for your Cash App. I really appreciate that. And I want to thank Dave for joining the membership. So, guys, if you want to join that membership, go ahead and do it, man. We're gonna do some wealth building on this channel. We're gonna trade stocks on. I have Robinhood. I know some people have Moomoo. I know some people have E-Trade. Whatever you have. We're going back to the days of Charles Tyler about being able to live abroad. You know what I'm saying? And don't have to worry about being able to afford to live your life. Bobby Blue Band. Napkins. What's up? Hey, if this is your first time on my channel, man, make sure y'all like and subscribe, okay? Make sure y'all like and subscribe. Thank you all for coming to the live tonight. I appreciate it. Hope you got something out of it. If anything come out of this, I will contact you all and let you all know what's happening. But just stay out of trouble, guys, okay? Stay out of trouble. Okay? God bless. Thank you. I love you all. Peace.